Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to review for you the Foxtheon 3600. Now, when I took this machine out of the box, I was like, wait a minute, this is pretty interesting. This is the first solar generator that I reviewed that has two extractable batteries. This machine is 3,600 watt hours of storable energy, and each of these retractable batteries holds 1,800 watt hours, but we'll talk about the batteries later on. As far as the specifications go, ladies and gentlemen, it has 2,500 watts of continuous energy. It does have fast charging capabilities that can charge up to 2,000 watts, but usually charges on default at about 1,000 watts or 1 kilowatt, which is perfect for it to be charging at 1 kilowatt for safety reasons. And in my opinion, the faster that a solar generator charges or discharges, the less life that the battery will have. But that's just my opinion, because you're putting so much stress on that battery, charging it really fast or discharging it really fast. But we are going to go ahead and do a test on this battery today. I'm going to use my handy dandy meter gauge that's going to tell us how many kilowatt hours were extracted from this machine using an air conditioner. And also we're going to go ahead and put it to a load test using my air conditioner and also my heater. Is that an oxymoron or what? At the same time. So we're going to see if it can maintain that 2,500 watts or close to that 2,500 watts for at least a good 5 or so minutes using both a heater and the air conditioner at the same time. And if we had to add something else to it, we'll add something else to it to bring it as close to that 2,500 watts continuous as we can. Now, before I get too far in, let me go ahead and just show you the few things that it did come with. It came with this pouch, ladies and gentlemen, and I really like that solar generator companies are now including little pouches like this. I think it's just very convenient to have it. And the case, ladies and gentlemen, that this came in, take a look at it. It's a very nice case. It has a really nice, strong zipper on it. It's got real sturdy handles that you can use to carry this, and it's very well padded. So I really like that they included the case with this solar generator. Now, it brings several wires with it, and one of the things that I was kind of confused with before I even took this out of its case was that it came with one of these. So this is your garden variety car lighter, 12 volt DC, and it has what I believe this is an EC5 connector. I believe these are called, but it has these EC5 connectors that you can go ahead and connect it to your unit right here on the DC output, so that it can power up these two cigarette lighters. And I was like, why in the world did it come with this? Well, it's because the machine itself does not have a 12 volt DC cigarette lighter jack. So they went ahead and provided you with this instead, which I guess this is just fine having this instead of just having one on the machine. Another thing that they came with is, of course, the option for you to be able to charge from your vehicle. And these are always a very small amount of input, ladies and gentlemen. These on a 12 volt unit is going to be charging at about 100 watts per hour. 24 volt unit, about 200 watts per hour. But most people will just plug this into their cigarette lighters to charge it if they do use this, and it charges at about 100 watts per hour. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, a small jumper set in case you need to jump your battery. So it's very nice that this came with this. A lot of machines won't even come with this, but I consider this a very low cost item to put in there, and you never know when you may need this. Now, the last cable that came with it is this one right here. This is the AC cable that you use to charge the unit. Again, it'll charge up to 2,000 watts per hour. However, it defaults at 1,000 watts per hour, which I think is perfect. And the one cable that it did not come with, ladies and gentlemen, it did not come with a cable for you to hook up to solar, either Anderson or MC4. I wish they would have gone ahead and sent at least one kind, mainly the MC4 connector that you can use to connect to the unit for its input. This has a solar input max of 400 watts. So not great on the solar input. I would like to see the solar input a little higher, but you can work with 400. It means that with good sunlight, it will take about 9 hours to charge this unit from 0 to full. I don't think I've mentioned this, but this is a very nice looking machine, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't think that looks is a big deal. You all know that I rather have functionality than it looks, but this is a really nice looking machine, meaning that if you want to put it somewhere where it's in plain sight in your home, like for example, if you have it next to your refrigerator on top of a counter or something, using it as a UPS device in case the grid goes down, your refrigerator just continues to work. And yes, this does have uninterrupted power supply, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have your appliance hooked up to this and this hooked up to the grid and the grid goes down, then your appliance will just continue to work seamlessly like if the grid never went down. So that's what UPS is, for those of you that may not know. This machine is very well constructed. It's very hardy. And as you can see here, this is the front and this is like the working part of the machine. There's only one other part of this machine or other side that has any functionality whatsoever. I would say that 99% of the functionality is right here in the front, and it is very simple. Let me show you. It has two simple switches, one to turn it on, and the other one is your AC switch to turn on your AC. And there are no switches or buttons in order for you to turn on your USB. Your USBs are actually directly connected to each battery. I'm going to show you how to take these batteries out here in a second. But let's make sure that you can use your USB without any switches or buttons having to be pressed. As you can see, each side comes with an USB-A, one with a regular charging and one with a fast charging, and also a USB-C. So these are identical on both sides as far as the functionality. Let's go ahead and hook up our USB-C to it. I'm going to go ahead and hook up my, let's see if I can show you here, my tablet and see if it turns on. And there you go. We got power going to the tablet. Like I said, there's no buttons or anything that you have to press in order to turn these USB functions on. Now, to take the batteries off, ladies and gentlemen, kind of a learning curve, all right? But once you learn it, it's very simple. In order to get the batteries out, you have to make sure that your AC function is on the off position. And then all you have to do is click on the power twice. Then you'll get this right here. Go ahead and hit the AC button. And then you'll see that once you hit the AC button, one of the battery pops out. And now you can hear that beep telling you that the battery is out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to put the battery back in, it's just as simple as you're going to have to hold it here in the back a little bit because you got to push it in, and there's like a spring in the back. There you go. Boom. There you go. The battery is back in. Your unit right here is able to be used right away. Now, this is why I don't understand why they made this like this. And excuse the beeping, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you what the battery looks like. Here it is. That way we don't have to hear the beeping of it being out. Okay, so, and it's not super heavy, so one person can definitely handle this battery. Let me go ahead and put it back in, and then I got something to say about this. My question is why? Why have the battery capable of being taken out of the unit? At first, I was like, wow, this is going to be great, because let's say I'm using this unit in here, right? And I don't have any solar or anything hooked up in here, but I got plenty of sun outside. And let's say that the unit is at half full. Let's say it's only down to about 50%. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take some advantage of some of that sun out there. Let me grab one of these batteries, take them out, and bring them outside without me having to bring any wires in here or having to bring the unit outside. I can continue using it because I still have energy stored up in one battery. But you can't independently charge these batteries. At least I don't think you can. I looked in the owner's manual, and you can't independently charge these batteries. The only thing that you can really do with these batteries once you take them out is use the USB functions. That's about it. Now, to go through all of the trouble to be able to take these batteries out just to use the USB function remotely, I don't think it's worth the effort. The only other thing that I can think of that would be a positive to being able to take the batteries out is that eventually when the batteries go bad, that you can exchange them and not have to exchange the entire unit. And the batteries is one thing that I haven't really covered as far as the batteries chemistry. These, unfortunately, and when I say unfortunately, I'm not saying that they're junk, it's just that they don't last as long as what I consider to be the best batteries in the solar generator industry. Full stop, ladies and gentlemen. I keep calling the batteries in this unit lithium ion, and they're not. They're half solid state lithium batteries, and there is a difference between lithium ion and the batteries that this unit comes equipped with. And one of the things that I like about doing these reviews, ladies and gentlemen, is that I always learn something new. Here it says the key difference between the commonly used lithium-ion battery and a solid-state battery is that the former uses a liquid electrolyte solution to regulate the flow of current, while solid-state batteries opt for a solid electrolyte. A battery's electrolyte is a conductive chemical mixture that allows the flow of current between the anode and cathode. Solid-state batteries still work in the same way as current batteries do, but the change in materials alters some of the battery's attributes, including maximum storage capacity, so that's good, charging times, that's good as well, size, and most importantly, safety. They are rated for about 1,500 charge and recharge cycles, meaning that you can discharge these batteries and then charge them around 1,500 times before they stop having the ability to completely charge up to 100%. Now, in its defense, I can tell you that I've been using a solar generator for years now that is just an AGM battery, and it is still working fine. I use it as a UPS solar generator to keep my Toyo stove or my heater going in the wintertime in case of power failures. And it's just an AGM battery that's only rated for about 500 cycles, and it's working just fine. It's worked for years just fine. Yeah, LifePole 4, in my opinion, is the best battery in the industry for solar generators. However, lithium ion, you're going to get a lot of use out of it. Now, in addition to your AC and your DC, here we have our AC input. You saw my wire connected to this in the beginning, and it's just your basic wire that connects to this. Nothing special about it. Here you have your DC input with your EC5, and also your output that you can use for your car lighters and for that little jumper that it came with. The only other thing to really show you on this machine is going to be a small compartment that it came with that at first I was kind of confused. I'm like, what is this here? Is something supposed to go in here? But it's just a small compartment that they made in order so that you can put a couple of little things in it. We might be able to put this in there. Not a lot of space, but a little bit of space nonetheless. This here is a small solar panel. Now, I looked at the owner's manual, and unless I just missed it, I didn't see where it says about how much this can bring in. But maybe we'll take it outside here in a little bit and put it in the sun if we get some sun today, and see if this shows any solar coming in. Kitty cat. Pebblies. Pebbles. Pebbly. Pebbly. Are you taking a little nappy? Oh, you're taking a nappy. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been out here for about 10 minutes or so, and I just don't think that we have enough sun for this to be getting anything right now. We can see here that the fan is kind of like running at a low speed, and that's usually an indication that you've got power input coming in, but the sun is just not very bright. Today we have a very overcast day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the bunker, and as you can see, we've got our wattage meter connected to the Foxtheon, and I just brought it in, so it's at 100%. So now we're going to go ahead and turn on our AC switch. There you go. And let's see, once we have our AC switch turned on, I was going to say that meter ought to turn on its own. We're going to go ahead and hit the reset button. There you go, it's reset at 0.000 kilowatt hours. Now what we're going to do is, and excuse me ladies and gentlemen, but I'm cleaning up my bunker right now and it's kind of a mess. Okay, so I'm going to show you the cord that is hooked up to my air conditioner in here, and you'll see that there's going to be plenty of power coming out of here, and that it is conducive to what an air conditioner uses. So I got my air conditioner cord hooked up to this. I'm going to go ahead and start the air conditioner on, although we don't really need it today, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and I'm going to leave it on until this gets down to 20%. And then we'll go ahead and do some math and see how efficient this is. And here is my AC. I've got it set at 64 degrees, which is the lowest that it will go. And a lot of times I use this as a dehumidifier, so I usually have it in the middle there where it's that little drop to keep the humidity low in the bunker. But right now we've got it on air conditioner, and we've got the fan on high speed. And as you can see, it's already clocking kilowatt hours. And let's see how many watts it's using. Right now it's using about 600 or so watts. And I think that is going to use a lot more than that, especially when that compressor turns on and off and surges and stuff. But let's see if the watts that it's using through this LCD screen is the same as what this is showing. There you go. That one is showing that it's using about 640 watts, 650. So it's pretty close. Look at that, 649, 660. So it's about 10 watts off. It could be that the extra 10 watts that it's using as compared from this to this is the 10 watts that it takes to operate this meter right here. But right now it's 675 right there. And look at that, 675. So we're going to go ahead and let this run, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, until we're down to 20% and see how efficient this machine really is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been about 4 hours and 25 minutes. Look at that. 4 hours and 25 minutes, and I am very, very impressed at this part. As you can see, the unit shows that there's about 14% left, roughly 7 minutes of runtime left, and it's used so far since we started 3.4 kilowatts. So it's used about 3,450 kilowatt hours, right? I mean 3,450 watt hours, not kilowatt hours, which is really, really good because this unit is rated at having 3,600 watt hours. So that means that the efficiency of this unit is really good. Showing that it's got 14% left, I think it probably has less than 14% left. But even if it stopped right now at 3,460 watt hours out of 3,600 watt hour capacity, I think that's really, really good. And it's been able to run the air conditioner the entire time. Let's cycle through this and see what we can find. So obviously it's still running at 114, 115 volts, 7.9 or 8 amps roughly. And right now it's running at 886 watts. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to see if we can trip this machine. If you all remember, this has a continuous output of 2,500 watts of pure sine wave, by the way. So I've got my heater hooked up to it. It's right here. I've got my air conditioner hooked up to it. It's right there. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. And we're going to go ahead and turn on our AC outlets. Now I'm going to turn on my heater first so that we can see what maximum wattage the heater will pull from this machine. And I just turned it on to the highest setting, ladies and gentlemen. You can probably hear the fan running on this already. Let's see what it's pulling. Our heater is pulling 1.4 kilowatts. So it's pulling around 1,400 watts. And you can see that the time is adjusting the longer that the heater is on. So pulling 1,400 watts, this should only last about, if we're lucky, between 2.5 to 3 hours. And you can see that it's showing that it's got about 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so left of runtime as far as how much energy there's inside. So now let's go ahead and turn our heater off. And you can see that we're pulling 0 watts. Now we're going to go and turn on our air conditioner. Alright, so our air conditioner is on, and I hope you can see this from back there. But I want to keep this lit up. Maybe you can see it better lit up. But right now it's pulling 614 watts. But from our test yesterday, we found that that air conditioner gets as high as 900 watts. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've given it a little bit of time, and I actually turned my air conditioner over to a dehumidifier stage because it's kind of a chilly morning today, and my air conditioner only goes down to a minimum of 64 degrees Fahrenheit, and it just happens to be like 63 degrees in the bunker right now. So as you can see here, let's see if you can see it from there, it's just shy of 800 watts coming out of the air conditioner, 798 watts. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the heater on to see if it can handle that load with no problem. Now you can see that all of our AC outlets here are used up. It's because I went ahead and also connected my air purifier that I use here in the bunker, and I also connected another solar generator so that we can charge that. So this other solar generator is going to pull probably another 200 watts or so, and this air purifier will pull about, I don't know, 60-70 watts or so, in case these two are not enough to trip it. we'll see if we can even trip it. There's really nothing else that I can plug into that's in the bunker. So let's go ahead and turn on our heater. First, let's go ahead and turn it on low. So we've got it on low right now. Let's see what it does. Okay, so our wattage is now up to 1.4. We've got 1.4 kilowatts, so 1400 hours or so with our heater on low. Let's turn it on medium. And you can see that it's going up. It's now up to 1.7 kilowatts, which is about 1700 watts. Now we're going to turn it on high and see what happens. 1.8, 2, 2.2. We are at 2.2, 2.3 kilowatts. And it's holding at 2.3. Now remember that this is rated for 2.5 kilowatts continuous or 2500 watts continuous. Let's go ahead and turn on our air purifier, and I'll put it on high. So you probably hear all these fans going up, and that's why I'm trying to talk as loud as possible. So our air purifier is on high. It didn't really change. It's still at 2.3 or 2300 watts. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in my other solar generator that pulls about 200 watts and see what happens. Well, right now we're at 2.4. So plugging in this other solar generator should put it over the 2.5. Let's see if we can trip the machine. It's just now starting to accept a charge. It's pulling about 180 or so watts. We are at 2.5 kilowatts, 2500 watt hours, which is what this is rated for. Let's go ahead and see how long it will last. Something is happening, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that it went all the way down to 1700. Oh, I know what it is. The air conditioner, the dehumidifier is not using the compressor anymore. So it went down to 1700. And I think it's a success. We had it at 2500 watts continuous for a couple of minutes, and the only reason why it's gone down is because the air conditioner stopped using the compressor, or the dehumidifier stopped using the compressor, because it just doesn't need to use it because it's not that humid in here. So I have to say it's a success, ladies and gentlemen. So far this is proven to do what it says that it's supposed to do. And ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? This machine has done what it says it is supposed to do. What do I think about it? I think it's a very nice unit. I'm kind of mixed feelings on the batteries, that you can take them out and put them in, but I would say that there are more pros than cons in having batteries that you can extract from the unit. The biggest pro, I would say, is that if a battery goes bad, you can replace it without having to replace the unit. And I would say that secondary, it makes the unit lighter and easier to carry and handle for people that maybe don't have a lot of hand strength, right? I think this is a good unit to have as UPS, uninterrupted power supply, for backup, for those appliances that you want to make sure continuously run even when there is a grid failure. So let me finish off, ladies and gentlemen, by saying thank you very much again to Foxtheon for sending me this unit. They have provided me with a link, and if they provide me with a code for you to save a few dollars if you are interested in purchasing this unit, I will provide that information on a pinned comment under this video. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in on this review. I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope that you got something out of it. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.